What's crackin', ladies and gents? Nervcore here, and welcome to the third installment of the Hero Spotlight. We'll be taking a look at General of Rescue. A balance of tank and damage, taking early to mid-game content with ease. Let's have a look at his skills. Harden. Tchaikovsky slams the ground and consumes all his rage, dealing 260% attack damage to all enemies in the front, restoring 150% HP of attack damage. So this increases up to 340% attack damage and 250% restoring effect at max level. It's a straightforward skill, hits everyone at the front and heals himself in the process. Second skill, Tchaikovsky mitigates 20% the damage received after he uses skills for 3 rounds. 30% at max level. This is why I prefer him in position 2, because he does not get this mitigation until he attacks with his core skill, which is the Harden skill. Unless of course his talent Rush Offense activates. I prefer consistency, not chance, so position 2 he shall be placed. Third skill, Hardening. Tchaikovsky's basic attack deals additional 150% attack damage. Max level is 300% with Relics activated. So that's another straightforward skill, basic attacks deal more damage. Last skill, Rage. Tchaikovsky gains 1 level of Rage each time when he do basic attack or attacked. Rage, stackable and no more than 4 level. Each level of Rage increases 15% attack and 15% armor. So at max level, that's 25% attack and 25% armor. And with 9 of 9 relics, that's 30% armor pierce. So, oh goodness me, the grammar on this is horrible, but basically his attacks, or basic attacks, and getting attacked by the enemy gives him 1 rage for a maximum of 4 rage. Essentially giving him 100% attack and armor at max level. This is where he gets a lot of his damage increase from, when it's stacked up to 4 rage. The rage is consumed by his first skill, this one here, taking his rage back to 0, which leaves him without the 100% attack and armor. However, he at least has 30% mitigation when he uses his first skill, so he's still got a bit of tanking leeway. With both of these together active, he is very tanky. General of Rescue's Skill Awakening Battle Roar. Broken armor and armor increase by 15% in the first 2 rounds of battle. So broken armor being very valuable, especially in the end game, for when the tanks and supports are decked out in damage immune. 15% armor is just a complement to his other skills, giving him more survivability. General of Rescue is versatile. He can use the majority of talents in the first talent tree. If you are going the DPS route, you will take up the Precise Strikes or Shadow Ambush talent. If you're going a tanking route, take up Super Shield or Master of Tactics if he goes up against control teams. Personally, I'd never use Ode to Death on him. It's more of a support talent. The second talent, still versatile, and you can take any of them, but I default to Titan Killer. I hardly use Weakness Found, but it does come out with a bit more damage than Titan Killer in high armored fights in X-War against warriors. Deadly Blow is for arenas. Vitality armor is used if you make him a main tank in position 1. I use it on him now in X-War 29 where you need 2 teams. I have him main tank my core team and Blaze the second team. Selfless Guardian you can also take because when he gets 4 rage in total, he normally has higher attack than Toko, and he will heal himself if that is what you want. For the third talent, you can take Overprotection if he gets overheals from Aphra or any other heals that overheals. Ghost Curse is what I default to, just more damage. Concentration if you're going against control teams and he's like in the main tank role. Fearless Persistence is just general survivability and gives him more attack. As for Critical Cure, this applies to self-heal, so General of Rescue is one of the characters that can use this, only if you build him with crit. So otherwise this is really best used on Forest of Avatar because he has self-heals and you actually build him with crit. For his last talent, I normally default to Death Gaze. I find that it does more damage consistently, especially in time travel and progression fights. Also, it synergizes well with General's Rage. For Rush Offense, it's good to take to get his mitigation up quickly and also if he's in the main tank role. I never take Violent Strike. I personally do not like chances to do damage. I'm a person that likes consistency. And the last one, Defensive Barrier. You can take this one for more survivability if no one in your row has it. For General of Rescue Stigmatas, I default to Banshee, because in higher levels of X-War, I require him to main tank my first team, and Blaze Centaur main tanks the second team. Other choices include, of course, Guardian, the one on the bottom left. I don't have a Guardian Stigmata, so I can't show you. And I actually forgot to mention that in the Blaze Centaur's Hero Spotlight, so that's one thing he can also use. So main tanks. It's an amazing tanking Stigmata, only if you want to spend money or use your plain badges in the event to get the 4 stars. You can build General of Rescue as a DPS if you so desire and give him the Apocalypse Stigmata. These ones. His DPS is not very high in mid to end game, so I chose to build him like a hybrid of tank and DPS. To complement your tanking Stigmatas, use Evolution. So Evolution is the one that gives you HP. If I can find one. That one. You can use Judgment. So it gives more attack. You can use Zealot, more crit. And of course you can use Annihilation, which is this one, gives him more skill damage. So he benefits from all of them. Endgame would be taking up the Sin Stigmata due to the fact that people will start to be decked at in full damage immune. I personally love the use of Redemption. It is my most favorite Stigmata, but I will only use a 6-star on him. A chance of being resurrected, especially in Arena, has been so valuable. A tank resurrecting in Arena, or even X-War, your opponent will have to cleave through them again, potentially giving your backline another chance. For General of Rescue's equipment, you would focus on, of course, damage immune, HP percentage, and armor percentage. He is a tank first and foremost. You can also try to get plus speed for him, so he gets priority in getting the mitigation off over your opponents. Speed is also valuable. It is okay to build him as a hybrid because realistically no one will be able to get the best stats on their gear unless you are a whale. You can have a mixture of attack percentage, broken armor percentage, and skill percentage. For his artifacts, the best in slot is Fictional Reality. It synergizes well, the best with him. It has damage immune, HP percent, and of course the restoring effect, which increases his self-heal when he uses his core skill. Other choices include Blessing Prophet, Divine Prayer, and for the Prelude of Evil artifacts, if you choose to be a whale or to pay, Devil's Pupil, and the new Bow of Doom, which is amazing for tanks. I personally would not give him any damage artifacts. He is a tank first. You give those to your damage dealers. For very early game, you can give him Brave Heart to help with progression. For General of Rescue's exclusive equipment, I find this actually pretty straightforward and boring. He just gains skill damage increase when his rage is up to level 4. Nothing really special about it. It does give him a bit more damage, but I would have preferred something more interesting. Otherwise, 20% block is pretty good. For General of Rescue's Relic slots, you can build him as a tank, so focus on HP, which is the left side here, the first 5 left. Otherwise, I consider him a balance of both tank and damage, so I put points evenly in both HP and attack relic slots, as you can see. General of Rescue's Union Tech follows the Union Guide linked in the description below in the tank section. But let's take a look at his Star Tech skill. Armor increased by 20% for 2 rounds at the beginning of the battle. 50% chance to reduce 5% armor each round. I actually like this skill. It gives him straight 20% more armor for the first 2 rounds, which means more survivability and is consistent. The second part of this is he has a 50% chance to reduce armor by 5% each round. This is to the enemy to clear this up with anyone. I like what they did for General of Rescue because comparing this to the other skill in Star Tech, this is the most consistent, whereas the others have like 10 to 20% chance to do things. I hate low probabilities and inconsistency. The 50% chance to reduce armor is great, even if it's just 5%. I consider General of Rescue a balanced hero. He is not the best at anything. He is just average at everything. You can have him as a main tank or second tank in position 2 in any team you choose and is comparable to Blaze Centaur in terms of tanking ability. He has given me the wins in X-War, time travel, and being the last hero to survive just due to his self-heal, survivability, and damage. Surviving over Blaze Centaur. The only drawback I see with him is that he is vulnerable in round 1, where he has not activated his core skill, giving him his 30% mitigation, and he has not built up his rage to level 4 to give him that 100% armor. You will have to counter this with high damage immune and armor percent, but this is why the game has already given him the armor percentage skill buffs in the first place. which is what you've already seen in StarTech and his skill awakening. A general rule I always go for when choosing what stats, gear, Stigmatas to go for is what the hero is already good at or is given in their skills. Like General of Rescue, he is given a lot of armor percent, so you look for that in gear and Stigmatas. You enhance it even further as just one example. In arenas, he's more used as a meat shield, just like Blaze Centaur. However, if you build him with a bit more attack and he gets level 4 rage, the enemy Silas will go for him instead of your Toko. So that's one tip there to get their Silas away from Toko. Well, that does it for the third installment of Hero Spotlight. Thanks for watching my current favorite game, X-Hero.